Hi guys, this is Dima, your English tutor. In this short video, let me recommend you a couple of things on how to get ready for the SAT test. So probably most of you know that the SAT or Scholastic Aptitude Test, yeah, if I'm not mistaken, is initially an American test, but now it has penetrated all countries and has spread all over the world, though it's not so popular and widespread as Duolingo, especially now IELTS or TOEFL. Still, some universities, especially those which consider themselves to be very serious university and probably for some master's programs or some, I don't know, different aims, they require SAT. And I want to tell you in this video that, in my view, the most important, like 90% of importance activity to get ready for SAT. And this is, just to take the bull by the horns, this is reading. I understand that probably you will think that it's naive, that reading is important for every test. Yes, but let's take, for instance, and contrast IELTS, Duolingo, and SAT. In IELTS and Duolingo, we have speaking and we have writing. So, of course, candidates, especially those working with their tutors, they practice speaking and writing skills. Yeah, in SAT, in 90% of cases, you don't have either speaking, like never you have speaking, and in 90% of cases, you don't even have writing. There is an essay included into the SAT, but most universities, they don't require that essay. So you don't have to write anything at all, and no speaking at all, you see? So why should you develop your speaking or writing if you have, for example, several months before the SAT and you have to do something and you have taken, for example, SAT, and you have got, for example, so the maximum is 1600, yeah, and you have got 1100. Especially if we divide, let's say, 500 with something for verbal and 500 with something for mathematics, yeah? So mathematics is a separate kingdom, so mathematics is mathematics. Just mathematics in English. Here, nothing special is about English, you just have to learn mathematics, to practice mathematics, simultaneously looking into some English terms about mathematics. Nothing special, nothing more, so I don't see any intricacies here involved. But concerning verbal, you have two sections. The so-called reading, here you're looking at it, yeah? 5 texts and about 10 or 11 questions to every text. And also then so-called writing. Let me show you writing. But actually it's not writing. It's just, let's call it better grammar and punctuation and style and syntax. The principle is the same. You read something and you decide, so here multiple choice, how to complete the sentence in the best way or how to put punctuation better, you see? So you don't write anything. So why they call it writing, like active use of language in writing, but I don't agree with them. But it's not my business, yes, how they call. So you see, in SAT, you don't have speaking or writing at all. The essays, sometimes they require, but in very extreme cases, so 1 out of 30 cases. So most probably, if you pass SAT, you will not have to write anything. Only read and answer in short periods of time. And texts are very high level. Because, as you understand, SAT was initially designed not for those non-native speakers, but for American teenagers. And you understand that American teenagers, they know English to some degree. So learning, the level of English is not tested. They test their scholastic ability. And scholastic means the ability to process large amounts of information, especially verbal information, in limited periods of time. And how can you develop that? I will tell you, based on my experience, you should read a lot of difficult literature. Very simple. You see, to understand these texts easily, you have to have a very broad vocabulary, very expansive, so that you read and you don't meet any new words. Then you feel comfortable, you see. If you meet a new word, like every other word is new, you understand it's a huge problem. It's a calamity because you don't understand how can you answer these questions twisted questions if you don't understand them in words. So you have to read, read, read. So you will ask me what to read, yeah? The answer is very simple in my point of view. Firstly, you have to download a lot of SAT practice guides, especially official ones from College Board, but not only from them. You can, you can use any. And read these texts from those practice sets and with the dictionary, analyzing them, marking, highlighting those new words for you to return to them later, and also then to answer those questions. Okay, it's obvious, yeah? So where can we get the second channel for reading? I would recommend you most difficult English books like in the world for understanding. Yeah, just like that. You input in Google top 10 or top 20 most difficult English books for understanding. I guarantee you will meet there Ulysses by James Joyce, Moby Dick by Neville, and some philosophical works. And so really you try to read those books every day, a couple of paragraphs with a dictionary. Believe me, after you have read for a couple of months Ulysses, when you open this, it will be for you piece of cake, because that Ulysses is really, something else, as they say. Really, it's out of the box and out of this world. Probably you will hate that Ulysses or something. You'll say, oh my god, I cannot read this gibberish. It's yeah, but you have to enlarge your passive vocabulary with hundreds of weird English words. Then in the SAT you will not meet, you will meet some of them, but you will know them. You will feel, haha, you are trying to catch me. Yes, but I know this stuff. You see? So the first channel is these texts from SAT itself, yeah. The second channel, difficult English books to understand. Also read please Gibbon. My favorite writer of all times probably is, my favorite writer probably is Conan Doyle with his Sherlock Holmes and Lost World, but not fiction, but like scientific literature is Edward Gibbon, a great genius of the English language. Find him, Edward Gibbon, The History of the Decline and Fall of the Roman Empire, one of the greatest literary works of all humanity. And proceed please. You will understand that compared to this Gibbon, so this SAT is not a big deal. Gibbon's language is very, very fluent, harmonious, coherent. It's a masterpiece, I tell you. Some authors say that he's more powerful in his English than Shakespeare was. So really, it's true. So please make yourself acquainted with Gibbon and you will love him. So it's the second channel. And the third channel also I can recommend you. There are two interesting and outstanding tests in the world out there called GRE and GMAT. They are really something else. They're so difficult that, again, compared to them, this SAT is nothing. And you understand this principle of contrast and juxtaposition. After you, for example, have practiced a lot of GRE, you return to this SAT, you open it, and you say, wow, come on, it's kindergarten. Nothing special, yeah? So you please download, the more the better, materials about GRE or GMAT preparation, verbal part, not mathematical, but verbal part, and start doing those tasks. Very often you will find there short texts and a lot of questions, and also verbal workout where you have to find synonyms to words, and the words are so intricate, rare, and I cannot even find a word to describe. You will understand what I mean. They are weird. They are very, very uncommon. If you fall in love with this habit little by little every day, I guarantee that in half a year you will raise your score at SAT, I don't know, 25% guaranteed. You see? So these three channels. Remember please that SAT loves reading, enlarging a passive vocabulary, and that's it. While reading difficult literature, you will at the same time develop your, let's say, global broad grammar, because your brain will grasp, filter, sort, and solidify those grammatical structures that you come across while you're reading. It's natural and it's more powerful than when you open a grammar textbook and start doing those boring, useless, senseless exercises. It's like, in my opinion, probably your opinion differs, but okay, it's very nice. I possess some experience in tutoring people for over 20 years, so experience is a very solid and strong thing. Yes, though I hate cliches and standards and conformity, but my own experience, yeah, I revere it because I love it because it's mine, and my experience prompts that please read for SAT more than you do for Duolingo and IELTS, like 3 times. Read something difficult with the vocabulary and with the dictionary, yeah, and you will succeed. Okay, my friends, if you need some urgent help about Duolingo or SAT or IELTS or TOEFL, please address me. I put all my contact details, my WhatsApps, Vibers, everything in the descriptions to videos, and I'm sure I can help you. Of course, I cost some money, but I deliver some utility to students, which is very nice. Okay, my friends, I wish you success at SAT and see you in our next video.